Now, a question that comes up a lot in my community is this notion of needing to build a big old team to support your business, whether you are an online business manager or some other service-based support provider. Now, I don't know about you, but getting out of that solopreneur mindset is quite a trip. So in today's video, I want to share with you some things that I've learned along the way that have helped me to really be able to grow a team that supports my vision and my business. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Noked. I am the CEO of OBM School, and my mission is to help as many women as possible scale online businesses as service-based support providers, whether you're an online business manager or some other type of online-based service support provider, service-based professional, you are definitely in the right place. My videos share tips and strategies of how to scale, how to have a work-life balance, and all those good things in between. In today's video, I want to share with you when you should hire a team, what you should do, and if now is the time really to maximize on your efforts and scale your service-based support business. Okay, so I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. When I first started off back in, it was like 2011, I was embracing the solopreneur mindset, and you might be exactly where I was then. I was really quite proud of myself for doing all the things. I had no issues with handling the tech, bootstrapping all the things, checking out the YouTube tutorials, doing basically whatever my clients needed. And that was really good for a couple of years. And after those couple of years, something happened. And you guys might have experienced this as well, but I was burned out. Okay, totally burnt out. And I had had enough of doing all the things. So I went from being this solopreneur, happy about doing all the things and feeling literally on top of the world, to now feeling very burnt out. I was also getting into a phase in my life where I started to have children and my business needed to shift. So if this sounds like you, then I'm so happy that you found this video, because I want to share with you some of the things that I learned growing a team-based business. And I want to help you to see if this is the right next step for you so that you can do it sooner rather than later. Actually, I'm going to go so far as to say this video is dedicated to all of my solopreneurs who are ready to put on their CEO pants and take their business to the next level. So, big spoiler alert. There is no one size fits all to growing a team-based business. It really is uniquely dependent on you as an entrepreneur and your specific set of skills and needs and your work-life balance schedule. Are you a mom? Do you take care of somebody? Do you need to have this flexibility, or are you just doing it because you can? So for me, as I mentioned at the beginning, I am a mom. I've got 3 gorgeous babies and they mean everything to me. So when it comes to scaling my business, my focus is on being able to be as present as I can be so that I can give my kids the quote unquote stay-at-home mom experience. But in the reality that we live in, which is, we all kind of work, and even if you have a double income household or whatever, you know firsthand that the struggle is real, right? So I'm not going to get into that today, but what I am going to say is you need to start thinking very clearly about what it is that you need personally to make it work for you. Now, when it comes to the who, right? The who should you hire on your team? I'm telling you guys, it is not an easy thing to come up with. But what I can say is that you need to start really, really diving into what it is that you are really great at in your business so that you can start to think about what that looks like to delegate. So when it comes to the who should you hire? There's no one size fits all. There's no clear thing that I tell my students inside of OBM school: hire a VA, hire a graphic designer. There's no one size fits all. So the first thing that I want you to think about, and this is actually something that I do in my OBM agency with my OBM clients, is I start to really get clear with them on what their recurring tasks are in their business. So one of the first things that you want to do if you're planning to scale your business is really get clear on the things that you do day to day in your business. Now that might mean things like scheduling graphic graphics for a client, or overseeing graphic design plan or a website build, or managing a launch, all the things that we do as online business managers, and we do a lot. I'm gonna post here my video on what an OBM does as well, so that you have that. I'm not gonna go into all the things that we do, but what I want you to do is start to really get clear on the things that you do recurring, quarterly, weekly, monthly, daily, the things that repeat in your business. Get clear on those. Get clear on the things that repeat in your clients' businesses, and get clear on what that looks like, and also start to really paint a picture for yourself of what the ideal delivery of your services look like. Because I can imagine, just by sort of peeking into the innards of your business, I know, because I've been there before, that you probably don't have things buttoned up as you want them to be, right? Maybe there are SOPs, standard operating procedures, that aren't so buttoned up. Maybe there are things that you wish you could be doing more of when you onboard a client to really give them that white glove experience. These are all things that I want you to make note of. And this is where you start, by figuring out what your ideal team member looks like. Now, some of the other things that you want to consider is time zone, availability, how many hours you want that person to be working, and so on and so forth. You want to start thinking about, if I had someone to come in here and take over some of my day-to-day, some of the things that I do with my clients, what would that really look like, and who would they need to be? And that's going to start to give you probably an overwhelming, sickening feeling in your stomach, because you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to delegate all the things to this person. But I want you to keep it really small. And I want you to remember too, that you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And as obnoxious as that sounds, it is hands down true. Your first team member is probably not going to be your end all be all. It will probably be the first of many team members you hire, and dare I say, fire in your business. So you have to be prepared for that. And if you are an online business manager and you are practicing as an OBM, you probably know that, because you're already hiring and firing on behalf of your clients. But for some reason, for some unknown, bizarre reason, we as OBMs, we don't feel as maybe privileged in our business to bring on team like we do so readily with clients, and likely because it really does feel outside our comfort zone. So I want you to spend some time getting clear on the what it is that you would want to delegate. Now, for me, I'm a simple kind of gal. When I decided to scale my team, I'm going to be quite honest, I was backed into a corner. I was getting ready for my maternity leave. I had a whole roster of clients, and I was like, oh, the struggle is real. How am I going to manage all of these clients so that when I come back from my maternity leave as a solopreneur, right? That's a YouTube video for another time. When I come back, what is it going to look like for my clients? Are they going to want me back, or are they going to have moved on with their lives? So I knew that I needed to bring in somebody who could manage the fort. And my first maternity leave, I swear, I probably took 3 weeks off, which for me was enough. Okay, everybody's different. I'm not going to get into the ins and the outs of that, but I took a few weeks off, and I had somebody come in there beforehand to start to set up the standard operating procedures, to start to train on the recurring daily to-dos for my clients. So she was a VA / somebody who had an incredible attention to detail / was on board with creating SOPs. Now, if you guys caught one of my last videos, I talked all about how you scale with SOPs and why it's really important to bring your team into the SOP mix. So I'm going to post that here as well, so you have that, because in that video I also share my standard operating procedure hack, and this is one of the first things that's really important. So if you have recurring tasks in your business or in your client's business, which no doubt you do, it's time to really button those up and get those down. So if I'm making this very easy for you, it might be just about following what I did and hiring that virtual assistant who can create some SOPs for you, who can start to man the fort, right? Man the fort and take over some of the to-dos that are recurring in your business, that are recurring in your clients' businesses, as a first base with new team. Now, as you evolve and as your income and revenue shifts and as you scale, you will no doubt scale into different avenues, right? Maybe you'll scale into an agency being that you have agents or individuals, like in my case, it was OBMs who were working on my team that were front-facing clients. That wasn't until 4 years after I hired my first team member. So by no means does that happen overnight. But if you're watching this video right now, it probably means that you might be ready to hire that first team member or even that second team member. In order to do that, you need to get clear on the what. And if you're struggling with this, then I will recommend a really awesome book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Now, this book is awesome because it talks about your zone of genius and your zone of competence. And what I find, myself included, is that we are often working in our zone of competence, meaning, yes, I can schedule social media, or yes, I can, do things in my business like bookkeeping. Bookkeeping for me was always this fun procrastination exercise that I did where I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to spend 3 hours this month on my bookkeeping when I knew that that was not a great use of my time. Could I do it? Yes. Was my time better spent doing other things? Absolutely. So you have to be very honest about the what. Oh, this is a good coffee. Now, I did touch on the when. I briefly said, if you're watching this video, it's probably time. But the reality is that most of my OBMs inside OBM school, but also clients that I work with are very hesitant to hire. And no doubt because it is a lot of work and because it does take a lot of time and you do have to do a lot of work when you onboard that client. So I want to remind you that if you are a solopreneur or even if you're just getting your business started, if you are already working as an OBM, then you absolutely need to start doing this right away. But I want you to just take that first step. And it might mean bringing on a VA. It might mean bringing on a support staff to help you for 5 hours a month. That 5 hours a month is going to give you an opportunity to start to delegate, which is a muscle that we need to flex as OBMs and as service-based support providers. We need to really work that delegation muscle. So give yourself an opportunity to really see if it's going to work for you. Are you introverted and maybe not feeling so strong about your team management skills? Then that is more of a reason to go forth and start to really experience what it means to have a team-based business. I promise you, you will struggle at the beginning. I mean, it's definitely not something that is like, wow, it's so amazing. It's just like, it's like going for a facial and you feel so great afterwards. No, it's like going for a facial and your face is all red. And you feel like, you made the wrong move. That's a bizarre analogy, but honest to God, you really have to start somewhere. So if you're watching this, it's time to start to set up some SOPs in your business so that you can really nicely and neatly bring on a team member into your business. The first of hopefully many team members that you will onboard and offboard into your business. But don't worry, I've got you equipped. I'm going to share my SOP template with you so that you have that to really help you get started on your team-based biz journey. Whether you are an OBM, another kind of service support provider, or you are looking to scale your team and you've got an online business, this is where you need to start creating those SOPs, getting them in a nice, organized way where your team can access, whether it's Google Drive or not. And I share all those goods in that video where I talk about how to use SOPs to scale your team. But really, you need to just get started. So I want you to start thinking about what it is that you need to do to make this happen for yourself. And then I want you to really kick it into high gear, looking for that person and really thinking and getting clear about what that person is going to do for you. Because the more clarity you can get around that, the better success you're going to have at having a long-lasting, incredible team member. I've been so fortunate with my own team journey, and I want it for you as well. As a mom of 3, as somebody who has legit had the stomach flu not once, but twice this month, I promise you, having a team is the gift that keeps on giving, hands down. So happy team building. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the bell to get notified and hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when I go live with a new video every week here on my channel. I'll talk to you guys soon.